bring this message of brotherhood. We should bring this message of how many things we have in common. So we have so many things in common that should unite us. And it will help to fill the gap, to show our two brother nations that we used to enjoy these excellent relations in the past. Now it's time to start a brand new chapter in the history of our modern bilateral relations and to reconnect our two brother nations. And I fully agree with you that our joint research in history, culture, our customs will help us to address this very important issue, to fill the gap, and to deliver this message of brotherhood that we used to have. Nowadays, I'm really happy to say that I don't see any hurdles. We just have to work on these documents. We just have to work on establishing connectivity. With direct flights, I think that we will be able to bring our two business communities, our civil societies closer to each other. You know, I just yesterday I had a conversation with the regional office of our private airline company, which is going to operate flights, namely Skat Airlines. So I'm happy to say again that they mentioned that there is a very positive feedback. Almost on daily basis, they receive different requests from business community, from academia, even from I would say from sports federation. They received a request that members of the Gulf Federation, Gulf players, they want to visit Kazakhstan to play golf in Kazakhstan. So you see, there are so many avenues for developing cooperation.
Actually, let's be honest. We need to put something in order first here in our own country. We need to, for example, you do not have a tourist policy at the moment. There's a policy, but it's hardly a tourist policy. We do not have a mountaineering, there are various kinds of tourism. I just give you an example, and I was just shocked to learn that there are 500 million Buddhists living in the entire world, and they have their Kaaba and Haram here in Pakistan. And if we just attract 0.5 million, 500,000 Buddhists to this country per year, it is $10 billion economy.
I forgot to mention that within these 2 years, we managed to sign a memorandum of understanding for developing cooperation between our leading think tanks. For example, Ipri, and from our side, it is an institution for foreign policy studies. We are going to develop cooperation with the ISSI. So we want to engage our think tanks. PITE, for example, signed an MOU with the Institution for Economic Studies under the Ministry of National Economy of Kazakhstan. So we are developing these very important links between our think tanks, and I do believe that it is not only about holding round tables, having discussions, so on and so forth. Think tanks, they can elaborate on practical recommendations for our governments. It's a kind of intellectual diplomacy, and they can help us. They can identify areas, problems, hurdles that they see as experts, and they can point out the problems that that our governments should be focused on.
The very important remarks you made that the Central Asia is going through a renaissance of connectivity. So, would you like to elaborate about this issue? I mean, the renaissance of connectivity, you said.
In fact, from the very beginning, Kazakhstan was in favor of developing our regional cooperation. Mm-hmm. Our first president announced this idea to establish a union of Central Asian states. Yeah. But at that time, it was back in the 90s, not everyone was very supportive of this idea. Yeah. But nowadays, I'm happy to see that finally our brotherly countries, our neighboring countries, they understood that without regional cooperation, we cannot simply survive. Mm-hmm. So this is why nowadays we are focused on developing our regional cooperation, and we have many formats such as C5+. Yeah. We have a regional format with United States, with Russia, with China, with South Korea, with many other countries. Yeah. So I do believe that we can also develop this regional approach with Pakistan as well, because all of our Central Asian countries are deeply interested in developing cooperation with Pakistan. And nowadays we are mainly focused on developing our regional infrastructure, because it will be helpful for for the entire region, for each and every country of our of our Central Asian region. And we think that we have to bring our brotherly nations closer to each other, and it will definitely help us to address the challenges that we face today in the region.
How important Pakistan is for the Central Asia?
It's well known that Central Asia is a landlocked region.
Yeah.
That's why for our countries, Pakistan is an extremely important partner, because through your seaports we can probably have the shortest route to get access to the warm waters. And this is why, not only because of that, we have so many things in common. Our nations cooperated for centuries in the past, but then due to some circumstances we lost this connection. Now it's time to reconnect and to develop regional cooperation between Central Asia and South Asia.
How big the problem of Afghanistan, the law and order situation in Afghanistan is for this regional connectivity?
Nowadays, with the Taliban in the government, I must say that many logistics companies, many experts, they say that today it is even easier to do business, and it is easier to deliver goods between Central Asia and Pakistan through Afghanistan. And it's a very positive news, and I'm hope very much that our Afghan partners, our neighbors, brothers, they will finally understand that they should be a part of the regional cooperation. If Pakistan and Afghanistan are engaged into developing our regional ties, it will be a game changer for all of us, for everyone.
How far the volume of trade between Central Asia and Pakistan can go if the access to the countries is developed more?
I'll give you just one example. Our president visited Uzbekistan last year, and we agreed to develop our trade up to $8 billion. This is only Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Can you imagine? So if we establish a well-developed regional infrastructure, it means that we can easily connect with the fifth largest market in the world, which is 240 million people today. So it means that the sky is the limit. And I always say that for me, B2B, when it comes to cooperation between Kazakhstan and Pakistan, it is not only about business to business. It is also about billions to billions and brothers to brothers. So if we develop this approach, the sky is the limit, as I said, and we can definitely cross at least 1 billion. 1 billion is a must.
Is any road and rail infrastructure is under discussion to develop a road rail infrastructure?
In fact, we already have routes which connect Kazakhstan and Pakistan. We have Karakorum Highway, we have the Trans-Afghan route, and we have so-called Caspian route. In the Caspian route, we have a railroad. What we need to do, we need to activate those routes that we have today. We need to sit and discuss together. It is not, again, only about Pakistan and Kazakhstan. It is also about other countries in the region. So this is why I said that Kazakhstan was in favor from the very beginning of developing regional approach, because regional approach is kind of backbone of cooperation between Kazakhstan and Pakistan and other countries in the region.
And the last question, how did you find Pakistan when you came here?
It's a beautiful country. I feel like home. Whenever I visit different regions of your beautiful country, I see that how people are hospitable, beautiful nature, stunning nature, and I see that there are so many avenues for developing cooperation between our two brotherly nations.
Thank you very much, His Excellency.
Thank you so much. Thank you.